Predation. Predation is a relationship between two species of animal in a community in which one, that is the predator, hunts, kills and eats the other, that is the prey. An organism could be a bird or animal that is hunted by other organism for food is called a prey, and the one who hunts is called a predator. Most of the predatory organisms are animals. In some animals, only the adults are predatory, whereas the youngs are parasitic. In other animals such as insects, most of the eating is done by larvae. Most predators are generalized as they eat a variety of prey species. Specialist predators such as anteaters eat only one of a few prey species. Cannibalism is a type of predation in which an animal eats another of its own species. Seed consumption is also considered predation because the entire living embryo of a plant is destroyed. Let us see some of the common examples of different types of predation in detail. Ambush predators or sit and wait predators. Ambush predators are carnivorous animals or other organisms such as some nematophagous fungi and carnivorous plants that capture or trap prey by stealth or by strategy rather than by speed or necessarily by strength. It includes many fish, snakes and other reptiles as well as some mammals, birds, insects and spiders. These organisms usually hide motionless and wait for the prey to come within striking distance. They often are camouflaged and may be solitary. Next, stalk, that is long search and short chase. Stalk predators are also carnivorous animals that follow their prey for a long time and then attack when find a perfect distance. The lion, or more precisely the lioness, that is a female lion, is an example of a predator that stalk their prey. Pursuit, that is short search, long chase. There are, however, many dimensions to predation and many overlapping strategies. For example, some predators find their prey and chase them until it is caught. For example, cheetah, tiger and other big cats. Browsing and grazing. Herbivores kill the plants and use unharvested herbs, shrubs or even trees as their food and sometimes pose much problems of management of natural and artificial vegetations. Different plants receive varying degrees of harmness as a result of browsing and grazing. Many insects and ruminants browse lightly over the vegetation. Cattle, camels, goats, etc. frequently browse the tender shoots of shrubs and trees and sheep graze the grasses. Generally, annuals suffer more than the perennials, shrubs are damaged less than herbs. Carnivorous plants. A number of plants as Nepenthes, Darlingtonia, Serracenia, Drosera, Utricularia, Dionea consume insect and other small animals for their food. They are also known as insectivorous plants. They are adapted to attract, catch and digest their victims. Their leaves or foliar appendages produce proteolytic enzymes for digestion of the insects. The carnivorous habitat in plants is said to be an insecticidal feature of their nutrition since none of them is dependent on its animal prey for nitrogenous compounds. Evolution of prey predator strategies. Predators are certainly kill and injure individuals and they depress in some measure at least the growth rate of populations or reduce the total population size. Predators play a role in keeping herbivorous organisms at a low density, but they may be ineffective when the host population erupts or escapes from density dependent control. Predator and prey evolve together. A prey is a part of the predator's environment and the predator dies if it does not get food, so it evolves whatever is necessary in order to eat the prey. It may be speed, stealth, camouflage, a good sense of smell, sight or hearing, immunity to prey's poison, different kind of mouth parts or digestive system, etc. Likewise, the predator is part of the prey's environment and the prey dies if it is eaten by the predator. So, it evolves whatever is important to avoid being predated. It may be speed to escape, camouflage to hide, a good sense of smell to detect the predator, sight to view the attractor, or hearing to identify warning calls, poison to spray, or thorns to fight when attacked. Human as predator. Scientists have found out that human predation is causing remarkably large and rapid changes in physical and behavioral traits of targeted species. To reach this conclusion, they analyzed the results of 34 individual studies looking at 29 species in 40 different geographic systems. Most of the species were fish, but they also included invertebrates such as snails, American ginseng and Himalayan snow lotus and some large mammals. Humans are omnivores and so hunt and trap animals using variety of weapons and tools like snares, clubs, spears, fishing gear, firearms, boats, motor vehicles, etc. Humans even use other predatory species like dogs, cormorants and falcons in hunting and fishing, sometimes even some non-predatory beasts like horses, camels and elephants in getting approaches to prey and utilized. Human as prey. Humans, being a social animal, lack innate weaponry like claws what other animals have. Without crafted weapons, society or cleverness, alone human can easily be defeated by fit predatory animals. On examining the fossils of living organisms, it is evident that humans were more a prey than predator. Humans evolved much more by helping each other rather than by fighting with each other. Humans were successful in shaping the environment and changing the scenario by cooperation and brain. Humans were a prey species hunted by bear-sized hyenas, saber-toothed cats and many other large carnivores. There are even recommended instances of alone humans being preyed upon by large carnivores. However, humans are not solitary creatures, they are social animals with highly developed social behaviors. Early humans survived while other primate species died out because our ancestors cooperated to the changing surroundings. Further, humans and their ancestors such as Homo erectus have been using stone tools and weapons for years. Anatomically, modern humans have been apex predators since they first evolved, and many species of carnivorous megafauna actively avoid interacting with humans. The primary environmental competitor for a human is other human only. Classification of predators. There are two main ways in which predators can be classified. The most obvious classification is taxonomic. Carnivores consume animals, herbivores consume plants, and omnivores consume both herbivores and carnivores. An alternative, however, is a functional classification of the type based on the extent to which they feed on and interact with their prey. This can be understood better by studying different types of predators. Here, there are 4 main types of predator: true predators, grazers, parasitoids and parasites. True predators kill their prey more or less immediately after attacking them. During their lifetime, they kill several or many different prey individuals, often consuming prey in their entirety. Most of the carnivores like tigers, eagles, coccinellid beetles and carnivorous plants are true predators, but so too are seed-eating rodents and ants, plankton-consuming whales and so on. Predators may hunt actively for prey or sit and wait for prey to approach within striking distance. For example, ambush predators. Some predators kill large prey and dismember or chew it prior to eating it. For example, wildcats. Some may eat their prey whole. For example, bottlenose dolphin swallows the fish, or a snake, duck or stork swallows the whole a frog, etc. Some animals that kill both large and small prey, for example, domestic cats and dogs, may either would devour a large insect or dismember their large prey like rat and rabbit, depending upon the circumstances. Some predation entails venom on their prey, for example, the jellyfish. In some cases, the venom, as in rattlesnakes and some spiders, contributes to the digestion of the prey item even before the predator begins eating. In some cases, the prey organism may die in the mouth or digestive system of the predator. For example, baleen whales eat millions of microscopic plankton, which is broken down well after entering the mouth. Some predators do not eat their prey entirely, for example, those who cannot digest bones, while some consume it full who can digest the bones. Grazers. Grazers also attack large numbers of prey during their lifetime, but they remove only part of each prey individual rather than the whole. Their effect on a prey individual, although typically harmful, is rarely lethal in the short term and certainly never predictably lethal. Amongst the more obvious examples are the large vertebrate herbivores like sheep and cattle, but the flies that bite a succession of vertebrate prey and leeches that suck their blood are also undoubtedly grazers by this definition. Some herbivores have no choice but to kill their prey while they graze, as a zooplankton live on unicellular phytoplankton. Grazing livestock may pull some grass out of the roots, but most is simply grazed upon, allowing the plants to regrow again. Kelp is frequently grazed in subtidal kelp forest, but regrows at the base of the blade continuously to meet the browsing pressure. Animals may also be grazed upon. For example, female mosquitoes land on their host briefly to obtain the nutrition for their survival. Parasites. Parasites, like grazers, consume part of their prey, that is their host, rather than the whole, and are typically harmful but rarely lethal in the short term. Unlike grazers, however, their attacks are concentrated on one or a very few individuals during their life. There is therefore an intimacy of association between parasites and their host that is not seen in true predators and grazers. Tapeworms, liver flukes, the measles virus, the tuberculosis bacterium, and the flies and wasps that form mines and galls on plants are all obvious examples of parasites. There are also many plants, fungi and microorganisms that are parasitic on plants, that is often called plant pathogens, including the tobacco mosaic virus, the rust and smuts and the mistletoes. Moreover, many herbivores may readily be thought of a parasite. For example, aphids extract sap from one or of very few individual plants with which they enter into intimate contact. Even caterpillars often rely on a single plant for their development. Parasitoids. The parasitoids are a group of insects that belong mainly to the order Hymenoptera, but also include many diptera. They are free living as adults, but lay their eggs in, on or near other insects like spiders or woodlice. The larval parasitoid then develops inside or on its host. Initially, it does little apparent harm, but eventually it almost totally consumes the host and therefore kills it. An adult parasitoid emerges from what is apparently a developing host. Often, just one parasitoid develops from each host, but in some cases, several or many individuals share a host. Thus, parasitoids are intimately associated with a single host individual. They do not cause immediate death of the host like parasites and grazers, but their eventual lethality is inevitable. For parasitoids and also for the many herbivorous insects that feed as larvae on plants, the rate of predation is determined very largely by the rate at which the adult females lay eggs. Each egg is an attack on the prey or host, even though it is the larva that hatches from the egg that does the eating. Ecological role of predators. Predators play a very important role in ecology by preventing a single species from becoming dominant in a particular community. Such predators are known as keystone species and may have a profound influence on the balance of organisms in a particular ecosystem. Introduction or removal of this predator or changes in its population density can have drastic cascading effects on the equilibrium of many other populations in the ecosystem. For example, grazers of grassland may prevent a single dominant species from dominating. Removal of the wolves from Yellowstone National Park has profound impacts on the trophic pyramid. Without predation, herbivores began to overgraze many woody browse species, reducing the plant populations in that particular area. But this removal has a direct effect on beaver populations as their habitat become territory for grazing. Predator-prey adaptation and behavior. The act of predation can be categorized into four main steps: detection of prey, attack by the predator, capture of the prey and consumption of the prey. The relationship between predator and prey is one which is typically beneficial to the predator and detrimental to the prey species. Sometimes predation has indirect benefits to the prey species, though the individuals preyed upon themselves do not benefit. This means that at each applicable stage, predator and prey species are in an evolutionary arm race to maximize their respective abilities to obtain food or to protect themselves. This interaction has resulted in a vast array of adaptations in them. Let us have a look at different adaptations that help predators and prey to protect themselves. Camouflage, protective coloring or another feature that conceals an animal and enables it to blend into its surrounding is termed as camouflage. This camouflage consists of not only color but also shape and pattern. The background of which the organism sits can be both its environment, for example, the praying mantis resembling dead leaves, or other organisms, for example, zebra stripes blending with other zebras in a herd, making it difficult for lions to focus on a single target. Camouflage helps the organism to remain unnoticed, which is very beneficial for the prey as well as predators. Mimicry. It is a phenomenon where an organism has a similar appearance to another organism of some other species, which gives it an advantage for its survival. For example, the drone fly resembles a bee yet is completely harmless as it cannot sting at all. Another example of mimicry is the Automerus eo moth, which has markings on its wings which resembles an owl's eye. When an insectivorous predator disturbs the moth, it reveals its hind wings, temporarily startling the predator to run away. Female fireflies of the genus Photurus copy the light signals of other species, thereby attracting male fireflies which are then captured and eaten. This is the way how sometimes the predators may also use mimicry to lure their prey. Mobbing behavior. When the members of same species drive away their predator by cooperatively attacking or harassing it, then the behavior is termed as mobbing. This behavior is frequently observed in birds. For example, nesting gull colonies are widely seen to attack intruders, including humans. Cost of mobbing behavior include the rise of engaging with predators as well as energy expended in the process, but it can aid the survival of members of their species. Mobbing has evolved independently in many species, but it tends to be present more in those whose young ones are frequently preyed upon, for example, birds. It may be complement cryptic behavior in the offspring themselves, such as camouflage or hiding. They even use mobbing calls to warn their species of a predator attack. Aggression. Predators use their different methods of attacking their prey to inflict or to threaten them. For example, the electric eel uses the same electrical current to kill prey and to defend itself against animals that ordinarily prey upon fish. This helps it to remain a top predator in a predator-rich environment. Small predator who can become an easy prey use teeth and claws as weapons against animals that might confuse a cat with easier prey. The domestic cats also elevates its body to scare the predator. Many non-predatory prey animals such as zebra can give a strong kick that can maim or kill, while others charge with tusk or horns. Advertising unprofitability. Stotting is a display performed by Thomas Gazelle and many other species of Bovidae, Antilocarpidae and Cervidae. It is defined as leaping off the ground with all four legs held stiff and straight. Stots are generally performed by adults in response to predators, but are sometimes displayed by the immatures during play. The large predators that hunt adult Thomas gazelles employ two main strategies to capture their prey. It includes stalking, like cheetahs and lions do, relying on surprise and short fast chases. Aposematism. It is literally warning signaling, an adaptation of dangerous or toxic organisms which help them to avoid being predated. The fitness of the potential predator is also enhanced since the recognition of the noxious prey item saves that predator from harm. Prominent examples of animals displaying aposematism are bumblebees and coral snakes. While both group of animals are famous for their warning coloration, bumblebees also use a distinctive sound to broadcast their danger. Other sensory modalities may be employed also. The striped skunk has a whole ensemble of activities to warn of predation. Their markings are obvious even under low light conditions, but additionally they display an unusual body posture and leg movements during moment of threats. Animals with warning signaling rarely flee rapidly when encountering predators and are sometimes found in large aggregations or even in societies. Domestic cats, animals similar in size to such prey species as rabbits, make a hissing sound reminiscent of a snake, advertising that they can put up formidable defenses for their size. Such can deter confrontations harmful to both the cat and to an animal in search of small animals as prey. Chemical defense. There are two main ways animals can use chemicals to defend themselves. Animals can synthesize toxin using their own metabolic processes, or they can accumulate toxin from the food they eat. This act gives them protection against predation. It is most common in insects, but the skunk is a particularly dramatic mammalian example. Other examples include the bombardier beetle, which can actually shoot a predator with a stream of boiling poison, the ornate moth, which excretes a frothy alkaloid mixture, and the Pacific beetle cockroach sprays a quinone mixture from modified spiracles. Importance of predator-prey strategies in bioconservation. Predators are an important consideration in context to bioconservation. In many cases, the predators are not only the top predators, but are also endangered species themselves, as they have lower population sizes than prey species and are much more vulnerable to extinction because of their population size, competition with other predators, and the fluctuations in prey populations. Summary. In this lecture, we have talked about predation, their types and evolution of prey predator strategies, their functional classification and ecological role of predators, their adaptation to life and how they are important in conservation. To a population ecologist, predation is an important interspecific interaction which may determine the population growth, hence it gets essential to study it in detail.